You asked for it, we're doing it, an iPad stylus roundup. Hello, my name is Brad and I review tech for creative professionals, and today...
Was that the question parrot?
Hey Brad, have you heard of the future Mega Stylus 8500K? It's for the iPad, it's new, and I'm wondering if it's any good and you should do a review. I get this question a lot, and I usually don't answer it because people don't appreciate answers that just are me screaming, no! So I shout it into the void instead.
No!
There are literally hundreds of iPad styluses out there, and it's impossible to review them all. In fact, this video started with the idea where I thought, maybe I can go out there and review every single iPad stylus ever made. I don't really have the budget for that. What I did want to do was a roundup, where I talk about the type of styluses out there. So when you see something, you can look at it and say, yeah, that's a smart stylus, or oh, that's a dumb stylus, or oh, that one has a lot of potential, but it doesn't do its homework and it's failing now, stylus. First, there's one important thing to know, and that is there's two eras of iPads when we're talking about styluses. There's older iPads, and there's iPads that have come out in the last 2 years. You're gonna have a lot more luck finding a stylus that works for you if you have a newer iPad. If you don't, I haven't forgotten about you. I talk about options at the end of this video, so go to the point that I'll link down below if you want to get that info. Also, in the description, I'm going to link to a bunch of these styluses, and what you're going to see in the description of these products are what generation of iPad they work best with. And you might wonder to yourself, what generation iPad do I have? It doesn't tell me. Well, there is an easy way to know. On the back of your iPad, in teeny tiny itty bitty type, you're gonna see a model number. Write that down, type it into the Googles, and it's gonna be able to tell you what generation of iPad you have. Cool? All right, let's get to the styli. All right, so let's start at the top, the Apple Pencil 1 and 2. If you want the best, this is the best as far as drawing experience, accuracy, pressure sensitivity, and palm rejection. These are identical to each other, and they might be the best drawing experience you're gonna find literally anywhere on any device. These are great. So, Apple Pencil 2 currently only works on the 2018 and 2020 iPad Pros. If it's got that flat edge to it, that lets it charge when it's connected to the side of your iPad. It connects magnetically. The original Apple Pencil, however, works on the original iPad Pros models, but it's also going to work on the newer, more inexpensive iPads. This includes the 2019 iPad Mini and iPad Air, and the iPads with no other words attached to the back of them. The one that came out just last fall, and also the one that came out in the spring of 2018. I believe this is the 6th and 7th gen iPads. The main difference between the Apple Pencil 1 and the Apple Pencil 2 is how it charges. That Apple Pencil 2 needs to be plugged into a little adapter it came with and then plugged into a lightning cable or plugged into the back of the iPad. Nice thing about the Apple Pencil is it doesn't take long to charge. If you're out and about and you run out of charge, you can plug it into the back of your iPad for a few minutes and you're gonna get another half hour, 45 minutes of work out of it. But why doesn't Apple let me use the Pencil on older iPads? Great question. The Pencil uses a combination of Bluetooth and sensors under the screen of your iPad itself to make the Apple Pencil work so well. So this isn't just the stylus doing all the work, it's the iPad working in conjunction with the stylus. So older iPads don't have the sensors under the screen, they can't work with those Apple Pencils. That's the secret sauce. But Apple has been opening up the secret sauce a little bit. We're gonna see that when I demo the next group of styluses. But before I do that, I wanna talk a little bit about drawing control on your iPad and how to make it so much better using today's sponsor, Paperlike. I've always found that the iPad smooth glass screen to be a little bit too smooth. I like having some texture there to give me more drawing control, cleaner lines, more stable lines. It feels so much more natural, like drawing on paper. It also makes this really cool noise. There is a link for Paperlike down in the description. You can get one of these to fit any size iPad. Also, I hear they're giving out some free Procreate brushes as a promotion. Check that link down below. All right, time to look at some of the third-party styluses. I have 3 over here to check out. Things really started opening up with iOS 12.2 or iPad OS 12.2, no matter what you want to call it. This gave stylus makers a lot more tools to work with and dramatically improved the accuracy and performance of styluses on iPads. And that's why you're seeing, like on Amazon, so many new styluses coming out, because they're so much easier to make than they used to be. So what I have here, this is the Logitech Crayon. This is the first one I'm going to be taking a look at. And Apple originally opened up a little bit to Logitech when they first announced these for the base level 6th generation iPads. These were originally built for the education market. Let me turn this thing on. It has an Apple Pencil-like tip, but it's hard to take this top off, which is probably good. You can't really fiddle with it like you can an Apple Pencil, which is good for kids. Also, it's kind of squarish, so it's not going to just roll off. It might slide off your iPad, but it's not going to roll off a desk like the round Apple Pencil, even though the original Apple Pencil is weighted for that sort of thing. With kids, they'll make it roll. And one thing that this has done really well is that you get palm rejection, so my palm is down on the canvas and I can draw. Yay! That's fantastic. That works great. You also get accuracy. You're going to notice that as you draw, you're getting like great performance, great accuracy. So this is in many ways just as good as the Apple Pencil. But there's one way that it isn't, and that is pressure sensitivity. And as you can see, I just get boring lines. If I was going to, sync my Apple Pencil to this and draw, you'd see that the pen that I'm using has a lot of flow to it. It has a lot of pressure to it. So that's the main thing that's missing. So if you're looking to take notes and you don't care about pressure sensitivity, the Logitech Crayon is not a bad way to go. This is actually a really good stylus. The next one I want to take a look at is this. This is the Adonit Note Plus, and I chose this one because this is one of the more expensive Bluetooth styli out there. And I'm going to be honest, I've never had a ton of luck with Adonit styluses, and unfortunately, this one's kind of the same. So this, I don't know if it's using the same technology that Logitech is using, but you get a lot of the same benefits. For example, I get the same accuracy I'm looking for. I get palm rejection. That works really well. One thing I do notice is that even on medium speed strokes, I am getting some kind of wobble to it. So if I draw, maybe you can see a little bit more wave than, say, let's see if this still works, the Logitech Pencil. Well, maybe they're about the same. This feels a little bit more wiggly. The reason this is more expensive is that it's using Bluetooth to emulate pressure sensitivity. It doesn't work in all apps. It should work in Procreate. I'm not sure why it doesn't. So who knows? Maybe if I do this live, it'll work. I've tried many different things and it hasn't. So I'm going to connect my stylus. I'm going to go to Edit, and I tap and hold, and it says, "None stylus, no." I think that's pretty clear that this isn't going to work. I'm going to jump over to another painting program where this should work, and let's see if we have more luck there. All right, so here I am in Medibank Paint. I'm in the stylus section, and it says turn on power and press with the stylus tip. So I don't know if you can see that, but the little blue light is on. So I'll tap and hold, and basically I get this for a very long time. It never actually connects. And I hate to say it, but this is this is the third time I've used an Adonit stylus, and I just never can get these dang things to work, and when they do, they're really clunky. So my advice is, if you have something that works with an Apple Pencil, you could save $20 with this, but from what I've seen from other reviews and my personal experiences, it's not really worth it. It's really worth going with a good Apple Pencil instead of going with something like the Note Plus. All right, this one is called the U-Ogic. I'll spell it down below in the description. So these things, or things like these, are all over Amazon. There's literally hundreds of them. They all look like the Apple Pencil. I think it even connects magnetically. No, it does not connect magnetically. My bad. Some of them do. These are all very similar, and this is a kind of stylus that's very similar to these two. Let me go ahead and draw. No pressure sensitivity, great accuracy, very good palm rejection. I have noticed with this one, there is a ton of mechanical wave coming out across this. So, I guess if you're note-taking and you don't care about mechanical wave, it's not that big of a deal. However, for drawing, this probably isn't the best bet. These usually run you about $30 or $40. So if you don't care, you just want a stylus where you can jot down notes and draw arrows on screenshots and things like that. You know, a $30 stylus, $35 stylus like this, it's going to work pretty well. And there's a ton of them out there. For drawing, not so much. All right, in this section, I'm talking about styluses out there that are going to work on older iPads. Now, one thing I do want to say is that before the newer iPads came out 4 or 5 years ago, there were Bluetooth styluses. They weren't particularly good. They were laggy. They didn't have the accuracy that you were looking for. They were really weird, and nobody really makes them anymore. I went searching for one to see if I could find one that was available. I found some that were used, but there were none new, so I didn't bother because basically they're just not an option anymore because they're not on the market. The things you're going to find are... this is the dumbest of the styluses that you're going to get out there. This is basically just a metal tube with a spongy tip. And this is easier to draw with than, say, your finger, because your finger obscures a good chunk of the screen. Whereas this makes it a little easier to see, you know, what you're doing. But that's about all you're going to get. This is like a big metal finger. All right, the next stylus I want to take a look at is this little guy. This has a little wobbly tip on it, a little disc tip. So it has the point of a pencil. So when you look down, this is obscuring a good portion of your canvas when you're drawing. This disc tip is clear and you can see through it. So when I go to draw, it feels more accurate, and it's actually surprisingly accurate. Now, as far as other things go, it doesn't have palm recognition. So like I went to draw there and it's like, what's going on? The canvas doesn't know what's going on. For handwriting, it's very easy to accidentally touch the canvas. You know, for handwriting, this isn't so good. It's just not quite accurate enough. The loops don't feel right. You know, I tried to draw the letter Y, and it's just not, I don't know, it's just weird. It just feels off compared to the other styluses. However, in a pinch, something like this will work. All right, I'm getting rid of the new iPad Pro so I can bring in the old 7th gen iPad here. Actually, this is the new 7th gen iPad, but I wanted to show you something. See this goofy looking cord? Yes, I'm using something called the Sonar Pen, and this works on older iPads, and I have no idea how it works, but it's using some kind of information that it's pulling from the headphone jack or pushing to the headphone jack, probably pulling, to actually do pressure sensitivity. This one has a disc tip, like the other stylus we saw, and when I draw with this, I apply more pressure and I get more pressure. I also get a surprising amount of accuracy when I'm drawing with this. Let me see if I can... Yeah, I'm getting pressure sensitivity. How do I increase brush size in Medibang? All right, let's try this. There we go. Apply more pressure. I'm getting a thicker line, less pressure. I'm getting a thinner line. Yeah. So this works. I wouldn't call it super responsive. That is not something that this is. But it does work. It's going to get you further than some of those other dumb styluses out there. And how much does this cost? Forgot to look at the website when I was looking at this. Let me decrease the size. Palm rejection is so-so with this. Let me see. Yeah, this is going to work with my palm on it. No, that's not going to work. Okay, so palm rejection is horrible, as expected. So let's try just a little bit of handwriting. It's okay, you know. Like, I expect the D to look like a D. I expect the A to look like an A. So, you know, when you start writing and drawing fast, you're missing bits and pieces. But this is definitely working better than the other ones. Also, this is so annoying. Like, this is like going to the bank where they don't want to steal your pens. That's what this is doing, and this is not fun to just bang against your wrist all day. But in a pinch, you got the Sonar Pen. So that is our roundup of the styluses that are available for the iPad. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.